Space, the final frontier. This is the Observer's Notebook, the official podcast of the Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers. Its mission to explore the solar system, to seek out new observations and data, to boldly go where no podcast has gone before. And now the host of the Observer's Notebook, Tim Robertson.
Hello and welcome to episode 215 of the Observer's Notebook, the official podcast of the Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers. After 200 episodes, we are finally going video. So this podcast is video on our ALPO YouTube channel, but you can still listen to it if you'd like to on all of our podcast locations as you always have. The Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers collects and analyzes observations of various solar system bodies and associated phenomenon, and publishes detailed reports concerning these bodies in its quarterly publication, the Journal of the Association of Lunar and Planetary Observers. This podcast depends upon donations from you, our listeners or viewers, to keep it going. If you enjoy what you see on the podcast, you can donate to it starting at as little as $1 a month. If you feel even more generous, for $5, you receive early access to the podcast before it goes public. For a monthly donation of $10, you receive a copy of the Novice Observer's Handbook. And for $35 a month, you receive producer credits on the podcast. You can find out more by going to www.patreon.com/observersnotebook. And if you'd like to join the ALPO, membership begins at only $22 a year. You can find out more at www.alpo-astronomy.org. And you can also find us on Facebook. Just search for ALPO Astronomy. And this podcast also has a Facebook page as well. Just search for Observer's Notebook. And if you enjoy what you see and hear in the podcast, please subscribe. That way you'll never miss another episode. And now, episode 215. And we're talking meteors. Enjoy. All right, I'd like to welcome everybody back to this brand new type of edition of the Observer's Notebook podcast. And since we're doing video, I thought we'd have our very special guest, the most common visitor to the podcast, Bob Lunsford. Hey, Bob.
Thank you very much. Proud to be the first for video.
Yeah, it's good to actually see you.
Yeah, I don't know. I hope I don't scare people away.
Hey, nice T-shirt too. Is that a photo
Hey,
you took?
thanks. Don't get to wear it very often, but
Very good.
it brings back a great memory of my life there. So
There you go.
anyway, on the meteors.
Yes, sir.
July is the first month of meteor season in the northern hemisphere. So lots of meteors, nice warm weather, so it's time to get going. Let's talk about our first major shower of the month, which will be the Alpha Capricornids. Now, this shower has been known since about 1870 when it was first noticed, producing slow meteors out of the constellation of Capricorn, which happens to be pretty close to opposition in July. Now, these meteors are not visible until later in the evening when it gets higher in the sky. These meteors are slow
Mhm.
and very distinct and often produce a lot of fireballs, which is always fun to watch. Now, the first Alpha Capricorns are expected about the 7th of July, and the shower continues until August 13th.
Oh my.
Now, we expect maximum to occur on the evening of July 30th, 31st. Now, that's not a strict date because this has a plateau-like maximum. The counts will slowly ramp up, and when the moon passes last quarter on the 19th, then it'll be getting out of the way, and you'll see the meteors rise in count. And and I'm not talking about a lot. Even a maximum, we're only expecting about 5 an hour. So it's more quality than quantity for the Alpha Capricorns. Now, I want to show you what the orbit of the Alpha Capricorns look like from space. Okay, what we're looking at here, each one of these particles is an actual Alpha Capricornid meteor that was caught on video.
Oh my goodness.
So what we're looking at here, if I get this, oh, so we can see that the orbit goes all the way out to Jupiter
Hmm.
and then curves in, and it only intersects the Earth at one spot, which is right here. Because if I put this like so, it actually passes beneath the Earth orbit here,
Okay.
and on the way out, it intercepts it right there on the other side. So right here is where we're actually seeing Capricornid meteors. Now, that's a good shot of it. Anyway, we're going really fast here. Like you can see, months are shooting
Mhm.
by. So this is speeded up greatly, and you can see how fast the Earth is going around.
Yeah, 2040.
Anyway, yeah. Anyway, it is predicted that the actual orbit of these meteors are going to be closer to the Earth in about 200 years, and each July it'll produce a meteor storm stronger than anything we have now.
Oh my goodness.
So that's something to get excited about. Now let's head back here. That's what I wanted.
Okay.
This shows you the Alpha Capricornid. You are looking at a star map, right?
Yes.
Okay, great. This shows the sky in late July at 3 o'clock in the morning, and we're looking south here. So what we're looking at here, where it says Cap, is the area of the sky the Alpha Capricornid meteors shoot from. Now, you'll notice nearby is the southern Delta Aquariids. They peak on the same night, but they're easy to tell the difference because the southern Delta Aquariids will be faster and more numerous. Now, we don't have to worry about moonlight this night because we're talking about actually the peak of July 30th, 31st. So the moon will set at 11:30 that night. So it'll be long gone by the time they reach their highest point in the southern sky.
Okay.
Now, Alpha Capricornid meteors will be shooting out of this area, and most of them will be probably heading northward since there's so little area between the radiant and the southern horizon. Now, meteors seen close to the radiant will be short, and the ones that are further away will be longer. So I would suggest in late July to actually watch between these two radiants. This is Capricornus here. This is Aquarius right in this area. And you can see meteors shooting out of Aquarius for the southern Delta Aquariids, mostly heading this way and that way and straight up. And like I said, speed is the easiest judgment to tell. Um, as I said, the southern Delta Aquariids peak on the same night. They're actually twice as fast as the Capricorn is, so it's easy to tell them apart.
Okay. Now, are they each
And
related to a particular comet or?
yeah, the Capricorns are related to Comet NEAT,
Okay.
which, if you didn't know, stands for Near Earth Asteroid Tracking. And that was just recently
Yeah.
discovered. So evidently, this particular comet was separated from a larger body, and they're saying it's probably half of that particular body. And as we saw in that diagram, they've fallen into this orbit and are moving closer to the Earth. Now, as for the southern Delta Aquariids, we don't know the exact parent comet of this meteor shower. They think it's Comet 96P Machholz,
Oh.
named after our dear friend who has departed.
Hmm.
Um, but they're located further east and intersect the Earth at a more direct line, so they're
Okay.
faster than the particular. Now, while you're watching these two meteor showers, and then in late July, actually the time of our conference is a good time to watch these two on July 26th.
Okay.
That weekend, they'll be in high gear, not right at maximum, but just a few nights before, and the moon will be out of the way. You can watch for these two meteors near their peak, and you will also be seeing Perseids enter the field of view from the north here. So if you're looking at this area of the sky and seeing very fast meteors shooting from the north, odds are those will be Perseids.
Hmm. Okay.
So, and let's see what else we had here. I'd like to go on to the Perseids
Okay.
because most folks are going to write them off this year because of the moon being so bright. They peak on the night of August 12th, 13th, which is a Tuesday, Wednesday, and the moon will be rising about 9:30. It'll be about 80% illuminated, which isn't
Hmm.
good because it's only going to be 40 degrees away, and the bright moonlight is going to cut down on a lot of the
Okay.
activity we see. So, um, we can shoot for any earth grays that happen right at sundown. So as soon as it gets dark, we can see Perseids shooting out of the northern sky. Not very many, because most of them are passing actually below the northern horizon. But you can see a few long Earth grazers, and this is prior to moonrise. Of course, if you're up in Alaska or Canada, moonrise and darkness are going to occur at the same time, so that doesn't help there. But in the U.S. and points south, you have a small window of opportunity between dusk and moonrise to watch the Perseids in a dark sky.
Okay.
Now, you will, like I said, you won't see very many, only 5 an hour. So, but you know what? It'll be worth it, especially the folks that can't stay up late. Now, once the moon rises, you can still see Perseid activity, but it'll be diminished because of the moonlight blotting out a majority of the fainter meteors, which make up a bulk of these. Um, Probably your best idea to see it with the moon is to wait until the morning of the 13th during the wee hours of 2, 3, and 4 o'clock when it's still
Okay.
dark. Face toward the north with the moon at your back, and you will probably see 15 to 20 Perseids an hour. Now, I know that doesn't sound much, especially when folks are talking about 60, and some articles, say 100 an hour. Well, that's really blown out of proportion. Anyway, um, face away from the moon toward the north, and you should count 15 to 20. Now, I've noticed when moonlight is bright that the colors of the bright Perseids are strangely exotic. I've seen pinks, I've seen purples, and
Wow.
normally your Perseid meteors are oranges and yellows,
Now,
but I think the moonlight,
don't the colors relate to the mineral compounds
yeah,
of the
right,
meteor? Okay.
right. So, the Perseids are a high concentration of sodium and I believe iron. So they tend to be orange and yellow.
Okay.
But for some reason, when I've observed under a bright moon, they produce some strange colors.
Okay. All right.
So that might be something to look forward to.
Yeah, definitely.
Now, you might still think, well, 15 to 20, is that still worth it? believe it or not, that is still higher than 90% of the other nights of the year, moonlight or no moonlight.
Right.
So if your skies are clear and reasonably transparent, I would go for it because it's worth it. Um, and we believe me, moonlight or not, we still need data on these because we've had outbursts occur nights just after maximum and even before. But nothing's set in stone. They kind of surprise us when they want to show up. So if folks could go out and keep an hourly count of Perseids versus non-Perseids, that would really help us out. And
Now, what's the best method for someone to hourly counts of a meteor shower if they're interested?
well, I would be comfortable. Find yourself a nice lawn chair. Make yourself nice and warm. And if you're unfortunately in an area with mosquitoes, bring some repellent. But try to lay back with the moon at your back and watch for an hour and just jot down how many Perseids you see, which come from the constellation of Perseus,
Okay.
versus other meteors were bound to be slower and totally random throughout the night. Now, I would guess for the average observer, you probably see 15 Perseids and five non-Perseids per hour. It depends on your conditions. But still, that tells us, and if another outburst occurs, then we can track that down. And we can relate that to video cameras that aren't really, they don't get sleepy and the moonlight doesn't affect them as much as it does our eyes.
Yeah, you've got
So,
videos every night, right? Going from your place where you live to
right, right. Yeah. So, and, unfortunately, I'm at a lower elevation than where I usually observe. So sometimes it's cloudy here, but clear in the mountains. So,
right.
yeah, I like to go to the hills where the air is more transparent. And that's where I saw some of those exotic colors, right top of Mount Laguna, where it's 6,000 feet. So
Oh, there
maybe a
you
lack of oxygen has something to do with that too.
go. There you go.
But anyway, to wrap it up, we have three good showers to start the meteor season in the northern hemisphere. Two of them peak on the same night, July 31st, and those will probably produce about as much as the Perseids do under mood line, but still they're interesting to see. And folks who are watching this from points near the equator, the southern Delta Aquariids and the Capricorns are up near the zenith, so you will get higher rates from those areas. We've had reports of up to 25 an hour for the southern Delta Aquariids. Unfortunately, they tend to be dim, and that's why the reports from North America tend to be maybe 5 to 10 an hour.
Ah, okay.
So, but once beyond that, after the August Perseids, we don't have anything strong until the Orionids show up in mid October.
Okay.
So it'll be a lot of sporadic activity, which will be increasing, and the Taurids begin in September when they're actually shooting from Pisces. So go figure that out.
Yeah, really.
But
All right.
anyway,
Well, this has been fun, Bob. I want to thank you for coming on the podcast today
uh,
and sharing your views of these meteor showers. Looking forward to watching them.
my pleasure. Okay, clear skies, everyone.
All right. Take care.